Hello, everybody, and good morning. My name is MJ Acosta Ruiz. I'm so excited to be here. We are just days away from Super Bowl 57. We've been waiting for this all season long. Today, I'm honored to introduce the 3 American Sign Language performers appearing at this year's Super Bowl on behalf of the National Association of the Deaf. Performing America the Beautiful is proud Navajo Nation here from Arizona, Colin Denny. Performing the national anthem is Troy Kotsur, Academy Award-winning star from Apple's Oscar-winning Best Picture, Coda. And performing both Lift Every Voice and Sing and the American Sign Language rendition of the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show is Justina Miles. Please welcome our official American Sign Language performers to this. It's an honor to have all of you here today with all of us. Biggest question, what does this performance mean to each of you? And Colin, I'll start with you.
Yate, my name is Colin Denny, and what America the Beautiful means to me is it's such an honor to be here representing the Navajo Nation and representing my communities. And you have the deaf, the hearing, and indigenous communities all over America, and it's an honor to represent all 3 of them. All 3 of those communities I mentioned all have 3 things in common: language, culture, and diversity. And that is part of America the Beautiful, because all these communities are still here, and I'm so happy to be representing them and representing myself as well.
Thank you, Colin. Troy, what about for you?
First and foremost, I'm so proud to have been born and raised in Arizona. This is my hometown. I'm a native of Mesa, Arizona, and I'm honored to be here. And I'm here, you know, the NAD, the National Association of the Deaf, invited me here, and it's so great to see this diversity representing different types of deaf communities. And when they asked me, hey, Troy, would you mind signing the national anthem at the Super Bowl? I said, yeah, sure. I'm in. And so I started doing a little research, and I go, hold on, wait a second. And I wanted to see who wrote the song, and his name is Francis Scott Key. And I did a little research, you know, what was his motivation in writing this song? And so I put it on hold for a second, and I analyzed his history. And it's really a fascinating history because he actually witnessed what happened during the Revolutionary War, and seeing that the flag was still there, and the smoke and the fire, and even through it all, the flag had remained. And so it inspired him to write this song. And so I'm becoming Francis and put myself in his shoes and tell it from his perspective. So that's how I'm going to sign it. It's a new tape, and I want to really help that affect me in my ASL translation of the song. And so I'm Francis Scott Key, and so I'm going to show you all what I'm seeing and what he wrote, which was pure poetry, and I'm going to add in my personality as an artist and put it all out there to show you all my work. Looking forward to it. It should be fun. It'll be fun for me. And after I read it, you know, I really felt even prouder to be an American, to tell you the truth, ever. And so I am proud. And I just want to say hi to my wife and daughter. Love you. Oh, hold on. And I just want to tell my 2 older brothers, I'm going to beat you in golf.
Well played, Troy.
So I'm going to sign Lift Every Voice and Sing. So that song represents resilience for me. And the national anthem never really resonated with me personally. And the Black national anthem is really inspiring and empowering. And so this song is so positive, it's so beautiful, and you don't really hear or see it very often or even hear about it. And there's many folks who don't even know that the Black national anthem exists. So it's not only for me to share this experience with the whole world, but to really bring that empowerment to millions and millions of Black deaf people all over the country who've never really seen that before. And so they should feel inspired, and that's the same way I feel when I feel like that is truly lifting every voice, even my voice.
That's beautiful. Before I let you each go here, I'd love to know your favorite lyric from the songs that you will be signing. Colin?
Well, one of the lines is really, how beautiful. And that language and culture and everything to me is beautiful because community is there, and the indigenous community is there, and it is beautiful. For me, I like the line, still there. Because it represents us. We're still here today, we're still alive, we're still there. My favorite line would be the very last line, which says, we march on. And we march on until victory is won. And so that line, I really feel like, really shows that resilience that I mentioned earlier, and the resilience of people and the resilience of their culture.
Thank you all for being here, for your answers. I can't wait to see this beautiful texture layer that you add to the pregame performances. Thank you all for being here today. We will see you on Sunday. For sure. And now I have the honor of continuing our pregame lineup. Please help me welcome the incredible artists performing as well on Super Bowl Sunday. Please welcome in Sheryl Ralph, Babyface, and Chris Stapleton. I mean, this is the lineup of dreams, really, if you're thinking about it, when you think ahead at Super Bowl Sunday. I would love for each of you to take me through that moment when you got the call that you will be performing in the pregame show for Super Bowl 57. Sheryl Lee, I'll start with you.
When first of all, they said, we just got a call, they would like you to sing at the Super Bowl. I said, what? Yes! And just like that. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Thrilled. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would be singing at the Super Bowl. What is it, 100 million people in the audience?
Give or take.
Yeah, just a little small thing, you know. But yes.
What about for you, Babyface?
I wish I'd go, but it wasn't that. I was surprised. I was like, this was not on my bucket list. And it was not anything I ever imagined that I would do. So to get that call, are you sure? Me? And but I'm so honored. So, and also with who I'm singing with, I mean, you know, got this dude over here that's like, you know, like only the best voice in the world.
Come on.
And,
yeah. Was just rocking out with Stevie Wonder. I mean, come on. What was the call like for you? Incredible. Incredible.
It's one of those calls you think you're not going to get.
Right.
And then you get the call and you're like, okay, let's do this.
Right.
All right, so Super Bowl Sunday is going to look very different for you guys than maybe in previous years, right? If you were not performing, what would be your ideal setup? How would you be spending Super Bowl Sunday? Chris, I'll start with you.
I'd be sitting at home with the kids.
Yeah.
On the couch. We'd have snacks and watch the game.
It's casual. And you mentioned it's like a holiday, almost an atmosphere, Babyface, and getting together for Super Bowl Sunday. What would that look like for you if you weren't performing?
Yeah, it's always it was going to be eating somewhere and watching it.
Yeah.
I don't know where the somewhere always is, but it's always somewhere.
Like plans come together. Sheryl, I mean, football gal, clearly.
Oh my goodness.
What was Super Bowl Sunday?
I had to make sure I had all of the accoutrement. So when I saw that, I said, yes, we must have the bag representing the team, Philly all the way. You know, it's a Philly thing. But my whole thing is good food, good friends, and a great game.
That's it.
And that's what we're going to have this year. Mm-hmm.
So we already know who you're rooting for.
Oh, fly, eagles fly. Yes, they like it.
Babyface, have you picked a side here for Super Bowl Sunday?
I'm going to go with Rihanna.
Listen, everybody wins. Everybody wins.
He took my answer.
Well played. Well played. Chris, you mentioned before that the Super Bowl stage would be where you wanted to sing the national anthem and only on this stage. Why is that?
I think I said it because I thought I wouldn't get it.
Manifesting in a different sense, right?
Yeah, well, it's not the national anthem is not an easy song
Yeah.
for singers. And
Right.
it's one that, you can, it can go horribly wrong, as we've seen many times in the past. Hopefully it won't happen for me.
It will not.
Knock on wood. But yeah, no, I mean, if you're going to do it, this is the place to do it.
It's like the reverse psychology. I will not sing it unless it's the Super Bowl. Oh, I guess I'm doing it now.
I mean, if I sing with that
worked.
universe, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, you'll actually be back at State Farm Stadium in just a few months, back on the road. How excited are you for that?
It's always exciting to get to come play for people,
Yeah, no question. Sheryl, you are the first person to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing live inside of a stadium for Super Bowl Sunday. This has been named a Super Bowl of many firsts. First, 2 black quarterbacks going up against each other, 2 brothers going up head to head, and now this first as well. How poignant, how important is that for you?
These 3 songs put together, the Star Spangled Banner, America the Beautiful, and Lift Every Voice and Sing, the national black anthem. To me, that shows a major effort by the NFL to be truly inclusive, to say we're going to represent all people on a day, Super Bowl Sunday. 200 million people coming together to sit and experience it here. What a time, what a way to bring us all together. So I'm very pleased and very happy to be able to be on the 40-yard line. Oh yeah, baby. Lift every voice and sing. And of course, my favorite line is, till victory is won. Yeah.
You have to unapologetically represent for your team, all right? I'm never mad at that, Sheryl, but
Thank you.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the moment in which you're standing right now. Your acceptance speeches at the Emmys, the Critics' Choice Awards. Shall we keep going? Because the list has been long. And the words you're talking about lift every voice and sing. You've lifted so many voices who at one point didn't feel represented or didn't feel like they could ever aspire to be in a position like yours. What are your words of aspiration and affirmation for those who are just looking for a light to keep going?
Oh my God, it's the fact that you woke up today. You woke up today in your right mind. You were able to put on your own clothes. Somebody didn't have to come in and wipe your behind. You did it for yourself. That is an amazing accomplishment. And the fact that you are all here together in your greatness, in your journalism, in your media, in your fan, whatever it is, my God, that's so much to be thankful for. And we're going to have a great weekend. Look at me with these 2. I feel so blessed. There's so much to look forward to. There is tomorrow. Hang on, because tomorrow could be fabulous.
Now that Sheryl, you're taking us to church on this Good Morning. Yes. I love that. Yes.
Thank you, Chris.
Babyface, you have said that America the Beautiful speaks to you melodically. For those of us who are not musical geniuses, what does that mean? And what is it that you feel when you hear this song?
First of all, we are watching the Sheryl Lee Ralph show.
Let's talk about it.
No doubt.
Can you answer that for me? It sounds cooler. America the Beautiful. I've been doing this song. The first time I did this song, I did it as a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
It was in a play that I was in, and I sang with a couple of guys, and we did a version of America the Beautiful. And it's hard to believe that, so many years ago, which was a lot of years ago, that I'm here to sing America the Beautiful. Once again, this song that I sang, and back then my mom was in the audience, and she couldn't believe that I was up there on that stage singing. And like the shy kid that actually got up on stage to sing. So to think of her looking at this now and to see me at this moment singing America the Beautiful, it's like full circle. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't know it was coming. But God brings things to you that, you don't look for it. He just gives it to you. So we were just talking earlier, just how are we here? How are we still doing this? And it's just amazing that that we're here. And the melody in that song, it's a lot easier than the Star Spangled Banner.
Sorry, Chris.
But he's gonna kill it, so I ain't worried about it.
Oh, man.
Do you have a favorite rendition of America the Beautiful?
Well, I mean, I think Ray Charles is the
Yeah,
person
absolutely.
Yeah,
that kills it. You know?
right. Mic drops. We're talking about the national anthem earlier, Whitney Houston, and those snapshot moments, your snapshot moments this Sunday, definitely to be admired and to look forward to. We have some questions from the audience before we wrap up here. First is our NFL Plays 60 super kid, Julia Crossley.
Hi.
Hi, Julia.
So, when was the moment you knew you wanted to be in music and entertainment?
Oh, you know, we were just sitting backstage talking about that, and it was probably in junior high school. I was part of the choir, and I got a solo, and it was a good solo, and I got this huge applause, and it was like, oh my God, I can't live without that. I have to have that in my life. The way it made me feel, and singing my song and being center stage, that was it for me. That was it. I'm glad I made that choice and didn't become a doctor.
You know, I met someone who was a songwriter. I don't know that I ever actually knew that I would, you know, be out on stages as much as I met a man who was a songwriter named Steve Leslie, and when I learned that it was a job that you could have where you could sit in a room and write songs for a living, I said, no, that's for me. And you know, over time I snuck back on stage a little bit and wound up sitting here. But you know, I've always loved music, and so knowing that I love music kind of took me down the road.
Bring us on home, Babyface. What about for you?
It was I fell in love with this girl, and I had to I picked up a guitar so I could learn how to write a song for her and about her, and
She had the whip appeal.
well, that didn't exist back then. But that was what made me want to actually start figuring it out. And I obviously listened to music all the time, but what made me want to become a writer was because I wanted to put my words down, all these things I was feeling, I wanted to put it down in a song. And so that started it.
The epic conduit of music. That's beautiful. All right, we have another question from Entertainment's Tonight, Kevin Frazier. Kevin.
Hey.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, y'all. How you doing? Real quick, I want to shout out MJ for the great job she's doing as well.
Thank you, Kevin.
And then we have three very unique artists that will perform in the pregame show. You worked on a unique twist to each one of these iconic songs.
I think for me, Lift Every Voice, it was to make sure that Adam Blackstone, who was my musical director, working with me on it, that we could have a version for people to understand the great lyrics of this song and what it means to continue to, through all the ups and downs, to carry on, to move on, to be forward thinking, learning from the past. The faith that the past taught us, the hope that the present has brought us. Hear these words. Let us march on to victory, the victory of liberty, the victory of justice for all is won. And that's how we approach the song this time.
Babyface.
Once again, you are watching the Sheryl Ruff. Coming behind that. What was the question again?
A special twist.
Special twist. I think the only twist you can give it is yourself. Is to be honest, and don't try to do anything incredible or something new for the sake of doing new. Give the words life to what it means to you as you sing it. So I'm just going to try to be as real as I can with it and with my voice, and it'll be what it'll be.
I can't follow either one of those, but I'm going to go out there and play, and play it like I would play it, and that's if that's a twist, then so be it.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Julia, for your questions, and thank you, Shirley, Babyface, and Chris. Cannot wait to see what's coming on Sunday from each and every one of you. Really appreciate you all coming out here and spending some time here with the media ahead of Super Bowl Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, media.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll hear from Apple Music's Nadeska Alexis and Rihanna on her much-anticipated halftime show performance.
Yeah.
I'll follow you.
#1 songs. She has 9 Grammys. She is Oscar nominated, an entrepreneur, a visionary. And this Sunday at the Apple Music Super Bowl 57 halftime show, the wait is over.
It's been 2,190 days.
Dude, Rihanna, we waited.
It's been over 6 years since the 9-time Grammy winner Rihanna.
Riri, where have you been?
We've been impatiently waiting for her.
We got to bring the fans predicting the end of
Okay, from Apple Music Radio and the host of the Nadeska Show, please welcome our girl, Nadeska Alexis.
Good morning, and thank you all so much for joining us here today. For the past few years, I've watched this press conference from home on the couch in my pajamas, so it's really nice to be here with you all in person. At Apple Music, we are very, very passionate about celebrating and supporting artists and about having meaningful conversations around music. So we are thrilled to be joining the NFL and Rock Nation to bring the Apple Music Super Bowl 57 halftime show to life. And of course, to see an icon make her long-awaited return to the stage. Today, we get to hear what this moment means to her directly from her. So please join me in welcoming Rihanna.
Hello, hey everyone, how are you?
Good morning.
Hey. Okay.
It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you, it's my pleasure, it's my pleasure.
Listen, I know you've been working really, really hard to get ready for this show and probably haven't gotten enough sleep, but you still look like you're glowing from within. Is that the Fenty highlighter, or you're just excited to hang out with us this morning?
The Fenty highlighter is definitely helping today because I have yet to sleep. We were working at the venue all last night and I kind of just stayed there, ended up in a prep, and somehow I'm here at a press conference right now.
Here and smiling at a press conference, and you still have a long day ahead. You have rehearsals later. So, you know, going into a show like this, we all know you're going to put on an incredible show and we're so excited. But at the end of the day, you're still a human, right? And you still need to get yourself mentally ready for this. So how do you prepare for a date like today? I listened to Needed Me about 100 times this morning and I felt good to go, but you probably have a better strategy.
A day like today?
And a day like Sunday.
Sunday. Now that's the one. I mean, I've been so focused on the Super Bowl, I totally forgot that my birthday is coming up. I totally forgot about Valentine's Day. I am just like Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. So it's a lot of preparation, a lot of moving parts. And this week, this is the week that it really is being tested. Everyone, we're just tightening up everything. Everybody's dialing in, everybody's tuning up. And a lot of moving parts. I mean, it's literally like 300 to 400 people breaking the stage down and building it back up and getting it out in 8 minutes. It's incredible. It's almost impossible.
But if it's impossible, that means you could do it. Because you've always been that person who could do it.
I don't know that I could do that in 8 minutes, but we're excited to do the Super Bowl. We are. We've been working on it for a while, and every day it just gets closer and closer to the finished product. And today's a really big rehearsal, really important one, so that's going to be crucial for Sunday.
I'm excited to see that. And, you know, I'm a big believer in timing, that some of the most special and magical moments in our lives, they line up in a way that I think that we can't always anticipate and predict. It's like the universe knows. So I'm wondering for you, what does it feel like for this performance to land at this moment in your life and in your career?
It feels like it could have only been now.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first got the call to do it again this year, I was like, you sure? Like, I'm 3 months postpartum. Like, should I be making major decisions like this right now? Like, I might regret this. But when you become a mom, there's something that just happens where you feel like you could take on the world, you can do anything, and the Super Bowl is one of the biggest stages in the world. So, as scary as that was, because I haven't been on stage in 7 years, there's something exhilarating about the challenge of it all. And it's important for me to do this year. It's important for representation. It's important for my son to see that.
It is. You make taking on a new challenge look easy. And I know that it isn't, because again, you are a human being, but you've always seemed so brave and, you know, like one to take risks. And I actually want to share something with you, because I think it's important for you to take a minute to reflect, which you probably haven't been able to do because you're so busy. So for anyone who doesn't know, a couple years ago, Rihanna released this beautiful coffee table book, and you got to take a journey through her life. And my favorite part was an excerpt. It was from, I think, her grade school report card. So here's what her teacher wrote about her. She is sure of herself and displays a positive attitude. I still see that today. She's friendly. She takes a leading role in group activities. She expresses her ideas clearly and intelligently, and she's very relaxed in acting out ideas. We have seen you evolve over the years, from your first album to becoming a mom and a businesswoman and a music powerhouse, but you still very much seem like that little girl in that report card.
That was trippy to hear you read that out, because I feel like you were kind of describing me right now, especially the relaxed part. That's a Caribbean thing.
It really is. Yeah, it seems like your values haven't changed over time, although you've obviously grown in a lot of other ways.
It's true. It's true. A lot of my core values have never left me. A lot of the lessons I've learned in my earliest years, I have never forgotten, and I carry them throughout my life and my career.
Your work ethic is definitely one of those things.
Thank you.
You are immensely talented, but it takes a special kind of person to put in the work that you've done over the years, and I think we're going to see that displayed, you know, at the Apple Music halftime show on Sunday. So tell me what it was like actually putting this show together, starting with the set list. You went on this incredible run, I think, from your first album up until Unapologetics, where it seems like you never took a break. You never took some time off. So now that you're a few years removed from all of those songs, what was it like revisiting those to build a set list?
The set list was the biggest challenge. That was the hardest part. Deciding how to maximize 13 minutes, but also celebrate. That's what the show's going to be. It's going to be a celebration of my catalog in the best way that we could have put it together. And you only have 13 minutes. That's the challenge. So you're trying to cram 17 years of work into 13 minutes. So it's difficult, but some songs we have to lose because of that, and that's going to be okay. But I think we did a pretty good job at narrowing it down.
Was there trial and error? You know, as you started rehearsals, were you running through set lists and tweaking, realizing this didn't work in this moment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. There are probably about 39 versions of the set list right now.
Wow.
Yeah. I think we're on to our 39. I mean, every little change counts. Mm-hmm. Whether I want like a guitar cut out, something muted, something added, or just put in a whole new song, or take out a whole song. Like, every time I make a change, something has to be updated. That's a new version.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of moving parts to the show, a lot of people involved, but another thing I've always admired about you, it seems like you know the right moment to step in and take control. And I think that's challenging for women. We're always nervous sometimes, me personally, of coming off too controlling or too bossy, but sometimes you know in your gut what the right thing is for you. So how much have you been really getting into all of the details of putting the show together?
I'm definitely not one that's worried about coming off too bossy. I've been bossy all my life. Ever since I was a little girl, I promise you this. Like, hell of annoying too, but I know some people get irritated, but you know, it's writing on me. You know, there are a lot of people who are part of this show, and a huge part of the reason why this show is going to be as incredible as it is. And I couldn't have done it without them. But you know what? At the end of the day, if it flops or it flies, my name has to stand by that. And so I really get involved with every aspect of anything that I do, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's a makeup product, whether it's Savage lingerie, like whatever I do, I'm that annoying girl who's gonna talk about everything. I want to see the copy on the website. I want to name every lipstick that I make. Like I care about it. I love it. I love it. I really do.
It all goes back to that little girl. I'm telling you from the report card.
Little bossy big head
It's
girl.
really amazing. Bossy in the
Still
building. And so another thing that goes into such a big performance in such a limited time is the physical stamina. Exhaustion is a real thing, right? But then that's something that you have to deal with, and your breath control and dancing on stage and all of that. Especially postpartum. I couldn't do it. Last year after I had my baby, it took me months to wear regular pants again. This is one of those few occasions. So what has it been like physically getting yourself ready for this?
The physical challenge has definitely been immense for many reasons, of course. But I haven't done this in a minute. That was first things first. So you're just running around for 13 minutes trying to put like a 2-hour set in 13 minutes, and you're gonna see on Sunday. From the time it starts, it just never ends, and until it's like the very last second. I know I'm saying too much, but it's a jam-packed show, and it takes a toll on your body. It does.
You got this, girl.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm not going to press you to reveal any details. I know we want to keep that under wraps because you've been working so hard. But look, as a Caribbean woman coming from a tiny island like Grenada, you've always made me feel so represented. I've always loved seeing you back home in Barbados at Crop Over. So I'm wondering if you're hoping to incorporate any elements of Caribbean culture in the performance.
I mean, that's a big part of why this is important for me to do this show. Representation, representing for immigrants, representing for my country, Barbados, representing for Black women everywhere. I think that's really important. That's key for people to see the possibilities. And I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be doing this year.
I can't wait to see it. And we're so excited to have you back in music. You know, of course we missed you, but you have a whole human being now to take care of. And I know it sounds like for you, work-life balance was not necessarily a thing because you always considered those the same. But is that different now, having a child plus work?
Yes, it's very different. The balance is almost impossible because no matter how you look at it, work is always something that's going to rob you of time with your child. That's the currency now, and that's where it goes. The magnitude of how much it weighs. When you make decisions on what you're going to say yes to, it has to be worth it.
Mm-hmm. And this is definitely a moment that's worth it for you, right?
For me,
like
for
you,
sure.
What is the cultural significance for you of performing at the Super Bowl halftime show?
I mean, it's a long way from home, right?
Yes.
It's a long way from home. It's a beautiful journey that I'm on, and I could have never guessed that I would have made it here. So it's a celebration of that. I'm excited to do that, and I'm really excited to have Barbados on the Super Bowl stage.
It's a big moment for the whole Caribbean. Look, you have been a global superstar for a long time, but I need to say right now on the record, Caribbean woman, we claim you as ours.
You better.
Now, you've taken a few years off of music. You've been building the Fenty empire, which has been incredible to watch. But now that you're making that transition back to music, you also took some time to just live your life, to just take road trips, like things that you deserved after working so hard. So how was that period, and do you feel now refreshed and ready to get back to music?
The pandemic kind of, in a weird way, forced me to slow down. And then when you have all these boundaries and restraints and rules, and you have to stay home, you kind of get creative with ways to stay entertained in a way. And road tripping was one of those things that I've always loved. I just usually road trip while I'm on tour. That's the road trip. I know. So I got to like feel the things I love about tour without having the commitment of the show every single day. It was just nice to appreciate that time. I really enjoyed it, actually.
You deserved it. You seem like a workaholic, so you deserve some time off. And look, I'm not asking any questions about when music is dropping. I don't want any problems with you or with the Navy. But, you know, a couple years ago, you said that you were working on a project that would be reggae inspired. Those are your roots. And then also a project that would just kind of capture where you're going forward in this next chapter of your life. And when I talk about this with my friends, we would take anything. A classical album from Rihanna would also be fire. So I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about this chapter and how you're feeling musically in general.
Musically, I'm feeling open. I'm feeling open to exploring, discovering, creating things that are new, things that are different, things that are off, weird, might not ever like make sense to my fans, you know, the people that know the music that I put out, that I just want to play. I want to have fun. I want to have fun with music.
You should have fun with the music and have fun on that Super Bowl stage on Sunday. You put in all of the work. You're ready. This is in your bones. And now it's just important for you to go out and have a good time. So promise me that you'll have fun.
I got you, girl. I promise. That's one of my main things. I promised myself that I would have fun.
All right. That's great. And now, if it's cool with you, some of your young fans have some questions for you. If you're cool to answer those.
Of course.
All right. Let's do it. So the first question is from Phoenix Children's.
Hi, Lisa. I'm from Phoenix Children's Hospital, and I love dancing and playing golf. I also love your makeup. It's so good.
Thank you.
And my question to you is, what was your favorite album to record?
Ooh. Maybe favorite album to record or my favorite album?
Let's get both.
Okay, I really enjoyed recording Loud and Diamonds. I was on the road for both of those albums when I created them. I was touring one album, making the next, and then I came back and toured that album and made the next. And then Anti was the first time that I took my time making an album while not being on tour. And that frustrated my fans a bit, and here I am doing it again to them. But Anti, for sure, top favorite album I've ever made.
A great album. Thank you, Anissa.
Thank you.
And we have one more question from NFL Play 60 Super Kid.
Hi, I'm Julia.
Hello.
And my question is, when you first started pursuing music, what was the most important thing you learned in order to succeed in the industry?
To stay humble. Stay humble, because if not, this industry will humble you one way or the other. And, you know, my humility came from my childhood, growing up in the Caribbean, growing up in my household with my mom. She's a very humble woman. Her mom was a very humble woman. And I've never lost sight of that. That's very important to me. I often fear the pedestal that the world can put you on, and I always want to feel my feet on the ground. That makes me feel safe.
Thank you. That was such a great question.
That was a great question.
Yeah, and a great answer, and that's why we appreciate you. You always seem so grounded, no matter what's going on around you. And
thank you.
You'll never lose that magic. So thank you so much again. Congratulations.
Thank you, of course. Thank you all.
Have an incredible time.
Thank you.